So, welcome to In Cadence. This is season one, episode one. Tonight we're recording our very first UK podcast. Welcome to PAX, wherever you are, and genuinely don't adjust your settings in any form. These voices that you can hear are British. Let's start with some introductions. I'm Ken. I'm getting used to telling people that I'm 51, and in the gloom, PAX call me Shredder.
And for me, you might have heard me before on some podcasts that I've done with Hook recently. I'm Keith, 43 Flea, and I'm proud to introduce you to today's guest.
Thank you very much, Flea. So I'm Richard, 45 Sage.
Sage, welcome. Like our first guest. You know what? This is the place that several people have said to me, I want to be first. And it's you, brother. So welcome. You've had advance notice of this, but that's good. I wanted to do a kind of warm-a-rama final exercise. Sage, if you were embodied as an F3 exercise, what would that be?
Now, that is a great question. There's a few, but okay. I absolutely love suicides, and I'd probably throw in some kind of burpee suicide, some kind of bear crawling variation as well. I think it's sufficient enough that you're not running for 5 minutes, but it's painful. You're moving from up, down. Yeah. Love it. Suicides, okay. Love it.
Nice. I you know what, burpees, you had me at burpees. I'm a bit of a burpee man. Look, well, that's the one more done, and there's not been a little baby arm circle in sight. So, Flea, crack us on and get us going.
Yeah, fantastic. So, so Sage and I have a long history of about 9 months. Sage's current role is Nantan of the F3 UK Yorkshire region, which is my region as well. So Sage was the guy who was running that first AO at the factory. He was the guy who welcomed me as an FNG. So now we go back now about about 9 months now, Sage, since we first met. So he knows my story very well. But I think for me and also for the rest of the listeners, being really interested if you could tell us what got you into F3 and how the story started for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Not that much longer than 9 months, call it 12, 13 or so. I was in that kind of typical midlife zone. I think paused a bit with career. Kids were 5, 6, 7 years old, so still quite busy with kids. Had lost some of my hobbies that I used to have when I was younger, doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or even going to yoga classes. I've always done lots of exercise, but I was definitely missing the sense of community. I was looking at some service ability. I just knew there was something missing. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I was listening to Art of Manliness podcast. It wasn't the podcast with Dread and OBT. It was just a podcast talking about F3 popped up. I said, now that sounds like right up my street. So tracked down the podcast on Art of Manliness. And then after that, I just thought that was a really good idea. Went on social media, found Safari quite quickly, WhatsApped him, and then within a day or so had a conversation. And he said, yeah, nothing up there, but we're always looking for guys to start up. He then contacted or put me in contact with Homer down south. And it was probably 2-3 weeks later, they were up in the Lake District doing some kind of mountain marathon event. And they were able to come across to Huddersfield. So I live in Leeds, so 45 minutes. He said, let's meet really early. Can you do kind of 6 o'clock? I was like, 6 o'clock, that's early on a Sunday morning. Can we make it 7? So we made it 7. So 3 of us, so me, Homer and Styx, just did a BD, top looking over Huddersfield. So that was about last June time. But straight away, really liked it. There was a few things that you think, that's a bit interesting, or that's a bit different, that's a bit strange. But I think that's the point sometimes. Really liked the workout. And I was just, where do I sign? So from there, Homer and Styx were just amazingly supportive, and got the first AO set up that wasn't the factory until we named it after a couple of months or so. So I started the factory. It was me on my own, just turning up for probably 1, 2, 3 sessions. But then you came, Flea, as the first guy when Bunker came and did a guest queue. So yeah, that was it really. And then flown, I think, quite quickly at the factory. You came along and kind of were unstoppable, I think, after about 3 months, setting up the mansion. And then, yeah, Leeds is going strength to strength. We've just got the stocks started in Bramley as well. So a lot happened in 12 months, I think.
Excellent. The stocks is run by Toffee, right?
Toffee, that's the one.
Everton fan, sad like myself. Yeah, no, it's really exciting to hear all of that growth. And obviously, when you did that first BD and you met them that morning on that Sunday, did they give you the full FNG? Did you get that treatment?
Did all of that. I think it was just like, you know, you're meeting some guys early on a Sunday morning, you don't know who they are, and so there's that trepidation. But I'm not saying I've done stuff like that before, but it's good to push yourself, and I've tried different things. You know, at first I kind of went to shake his hand, and Homer did a fist pump. I was like, oh, don't we shake hands? He goes, oh, we tend to fist pump. So you kind of I like those rules quite quickly. We did the workout, which was challenging but didn't destroy me, and then did the FNG naming. But then Homer did an amazing word. I can still remember it now, around what makes us rich. And it's not money and material possessions. It was really good. And that got me in with the circle of trust and the taps, and the feeling that you left with was excellent. I was just going to add, if I could.
That's what you want. It's lovely.
Yeah, thank you. So I've got a really close work colleague, and it was almost about probably August, September time last year, and I was just then full of beans really from starting F3, and I was actually doing some coaching with him, and he's a bit like, oh, what are you on? So I told him about F3, and he was similar kind of midlife funk or mid-career, and anyway he took it on and has started up in the northeast. So the first one in Gateshead, so Westy, and I then did a guest queue up in Gateshead about 2-3 weeks ago. 20 guys were there. Just amazing, and that's going to spread through Newcastle. That's going to then go on to Scotland and across to Cumbria. Amazing.
I mean, you've probably got some questions back on that as well, Flea. I guess one I'd noticed, and it's more of an observation, is, you know, obviously we've got a few South Africans around, people like Sticks, and there's quite a lot of English. I've met 1 or 2 Welsh, but you know what? My Scottish brothers, where are they yet? You know, they are going to go mad for F3, right? Aren't they? When we can get across that border, they're going to be unstoppable. It's going to be the next exercises, caber tossing, and just going to be unbelievable. That's so exciting.
Newcastle is the place. You've got, I guess, a lot of students, whether that's the demographic for F3, but you've got, just at the minute, it's out kind of Gateshead way, but I think once it gets into the centre, and Newcastle's a big city, so you're going to have a lot of guys, Edinburgh, Glasgow, and it'll get up there.
It's excellent.
What did you reckon to that first BD? I mean, you know, with Sticks, I know Sticks. I've been in beatdowns with him. I've been there when he's queued. He's not held back with giving some decent exercises and getting you sweating. So how did you feel as your first one?
Yeah, as I say, I think challenging, but it didn't kill me. I think my fitness has got a lot better in the past 9 months, or certain things have improved. But I managed it all right. Homer did the queuing, Sticks did a few bits, but yeah, we did suicide, so kind of fell in love with that straight away. Some things were hard just from a kind of muscular endurance point of view. Crab walk in particular, I was like, how am I going to get better at this? Just when your triceps are on fire, and you never really get good at it. You just get stronger at it, I think. So yeah, it was good. I was definitely sweaty. Then we did about half an hour. I don't think it was the full hairdryer treatment necessarily.
It is an experience, though, isn't it, for your first BD when you come to F3, and if you're not used to doing it, and you know I wasn't 9 months ago, having that heart rate up where it is, and you're being pushed for 35, 40, 45 minutes. you're knackered by the end of that first one. You come out of it, and I hear so many guys saying it's like going through a dishwasher, like or through a washing machine for 40 minutes, and you just come out going, what the heck was that? So yeah, it's not to be underestimated how much work that first one is, and it's that balance of getting FNGs to see what we can do and how we can help them, but also not go too hard and scare them away from coming back. And I find that as a bit of a challenge sometimes when queuing with an FNG. There is, okay, how can we not put them off? Is there any experiences like that, Sage, that you can share?
Yeah, I've got a view on that. I mean, I think it should be really hard. I don't think we should necessarily queue for the FNG personally. I think it should be for the packs, and it should be really hard, and you give modifications down. The thing that I find works is if the beatdown was in isolation and you just stopped and went, right, see you later, I don't think you'd get that many people coming back who weren't maybe fit already. But then what keeps people, or what piques interest, is you've done hard work, then you calm down, you feel the endorphins, you do the circle of trust, and then you have the coffee. So I'm then often saying to FNGs, your fitness will increase quite quickly from this 6 to 8 weeks, because it's army style boot camp, so you can train really hard. Injury rate will be quite low because it's your body weight, so you're not moving heavy weights under fatigue. And so that's my kind of view on it. I do think we should go quite hard kind of all the time, and if you're not feeling up to it, you can mod down. And we've had these discussions. I think giving a modification down is key, but yeah, making it tough for everyone.
On Thursday, I had to step in because our second queue was sick, and actually one of our, I hope we'll get him on at some point soon as a guest, one of our experienced guys, Crackit. I don't know if you've met Crackit yet.
Yeah,
so Crackit's a lovely guy. He actually said to me, he said, you've given too much option, and I was like, I need to bear that in mind. And there was a point when we were lunge walking up a hill through the park to this disgusting pond that I call Chernobyl Lake, and you can smell it before you see it, especially at this time of year. And it was burning, and we'd got to the top. And what I like about this is in our first 3 BDs, you see different people struggling at different points, and I do feel like there's a joy for an FNG when they see you come back, when it's hard, but they know that they're not on their own. The crab walks, I still despise them, and part of that's because I still need to lose a few pounds, and I think the chunkier I am, the harder the crab walk is, because there's more tummy to lift. But we were with an FNG, and he pushed, man, and I was so proud of him. Second time I've ever seen him, and I was like, what you've just done then, that matters. Titanic. It's got a good name. It's not because he's going to go down with the ship, but he's a Jack and he's an actor, so he got Titanic. But yeah, that's really cool. That is really good.
Just to add, because I think conversations make you kind of think about different things. When I did the guest queue up at the pits, I had a bit of a chat with Westy, and I think they've got into a really nice routine. They're in a great basketball court. They've got some good kit, battle ropes, kettlebells. And I said, how are the packs? He goes, yeah, we do lots of kind of circuit based, not loads of running. So maybe don't do too much running. So I thought, well, let's do some running. So I did my favorites, kind of suicides, 7 of diamonds, which I just love as a sequence. And there was guys, again, some heavier guys failing on some of the sit-ups, but you go back for the 6 and you were doing these exercises with them. And that's where I think the special sauce is, though, because I was like, I'll do them with you, right, 10 to go. And yeah, I think everyone enjoyed it, and it was a lot of running, but then you leave and they were saying, oh, there's some good ideas that we can take away, and I think we can bring more running in.
What's the 7 of diamonds? Because that's a new one for me.
Oh, it's class. So I think it would be on a baseball field in the diamond. Okay. So I do it on a football pitch. So goalposts, halfway line, goalposts, halfway line, and back like a diamond. So you would pick one exercise. So Merkins 7-7-7-7. Then you could do squats. You do 14, 14, 14, 14, and back. And then you go 21 and 28. You can come back down if you want, but 28 is sufficient. We did this at a convergence with the guys from Birmingham, so they came up, and 2 teams were doing it with sandbags, and you couldn't leave the sandbag. You always had to bring a sandbag round, and it was excellent. It's really good.
This is my happy face. I love this. This is the jam, and this is what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Really good, really good.
So your home AO is which one again? Remind me.
So it would be the factory.
The factory is
my local one. Yeah.
You're not the one of the AOQs, one of the leaders there, are you? Or you are?
No. Maybe by default, but I think not by name. So larger or lager top, but he misspelt it when we gave him his nickname. So he's the AOQ there, and that's 5 minutes from my house, and then the mansion is about 10 minutes at Rounded Park. So I go between both of them now, really.
For our American brothers, a larger top might be getting a double XL. But a lager top is when you take a pint of cold beer. We do drink cold beer here. And then you take some out and you put not lemonade like you guys have, but 7-Up, basically. You make it, it's called a shandy in the UK. So I'm not saying it's a good drink, but I'm just you're going to have to catch up with some of this real English that we've got going on here over in the UK, So big love to you as you work that one out. Good. What else is going on in your AO at the moment then?
Almost take it as a region, really. So we had the convergence in Birmingham, so a lot of the guys went to that, which is really good. Trying to drum up the stocks, really. So that started probably about 5 weeks ago. I think there was a sharp kind of initial increase of FNGs, and then it goes up and down a bit, doesn't it? So you'll get the core guys starting to develop. We had a really good social last week. We went for a darts night that was just really good bonding. A good 16 guys were there. So I think trying to get that built up. And we've got our first CSOP on the 2nd of August. So it's going to be about 2 hours of an extended beatdown, and then we're going to do a park run takeover. So adding a 5K on, which is quite hard, actually. So that'll be really good. Bit of advertising. We're going to be able to do an announcement at the start of parkrun. And parkrun at Rounded Park, they get between 300-400 people. So that'll be quite nice to be able to just do an announcement. So that really, and then I think maybe planning with our SLT what's going to happen after September, October, November time. Sometimes the summer, lots of things are going on, and it's quite kind of exciting, and then we'll be moving into the autumn, winter months.
I heard a bit from Flea about this anniversary CSOP, and I'd like to come. I mean, I don't think it's feasible in our diaries, but it just sounds banging, Oh my goodness. So cool.
The good thing is it's going to be at my AO as well. So it's at the mansion. So this one is a fantastic countryside park, but in the middle of the city. So we've got sprawling few miles squared of beautiful park. There's functional hills, there's lakes, there's small hills for bear crawling, there's steps, there's a massive hill with loads of steps on it called Hill 60, which is great with sandbags and things like that. So it's really versatile AO, and when you're queuing, that you're spoiled for choice of what to do with the guys, because there's so much choice. So we thought, well, let's take advantage of that. Let's instead of be selective on what we do for a beatdown, let's just do everything all at once in the same one, and we're going to make it quite varied. We're going to be I think we're going to settle on 3 queues for the morning, splitting that 2 hours up, and then all be in their 3 merchant off round doing parkrun again to get some publicity in the local area. You get some buzz. So yeah, it'd be again part of that, trying to EH some new guys in and just show them what we can do.
Gotta be smart for us. Go on, Sage. Go on, you were going to say something.
Yeah, we were just talking about kind of in the area as well, and I think one of the things that Flea brought was just an enthusiasm to grow, even more enthusiastic than I am, I think, and that takes something. So we're looking at Sheffield, and because we're now getting to west of Leeds, there'll be Bradford on the cards, Huddersfield, Halifax, and then over to Manchester, but also the other way to York as well. So I think as an SLT and as a core group, we've really got an eye on how we can increase this right across that northern band of M62, the motorway that goes right across. And I think that'll be perfect. But another maybe 2-3 AOs in the next 12 months, hopefully.
So that's kind of jumping ahead a little bit to something I was thinking about. Rewinding, just trying to be smart now. Hopefully I'm not going to put Flea on the spot here. Imagine we've got a dude in Leeds that comes upon our gorgeous faces on this podcast and he thinks, that sounds like my cup of tea. So it's Saturday, the 2nd of August. What time does it start?
7 a.m.
Looking to start about 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
7 a.m. we'll be running off, but yeah, gather about 6:50.
And what's the postcode and the address?
Flea.
Oh, I'm asking too much.
Ooh,
now.
Challenging.
Oh, think about it. Come back to that.
Challenging, but what you can do is use. No, don't need to think about it. There's a fantastic resource we've got called f3near.me that you can log on to, and it tells you all F3 locations that are near you in your vicinity. So jump on there and see where we're at in Roundhay, but also where we also work out in Crossgates and in Bramley as well.
So that's good. Go on, go Sage. Tell more.
Yeah, with my safety hat on, I'd probably rather they come earlier though, rather than just for that massive cease up. Just with, it's a big deal, isn't it? If you've not done it before, sandbags galore and all of that, but you've got to self-certify that you're safe to come. So you would be welcome, but please come to a BD before you did the full CSOP, maybe.
Okay. So obviously F3 near me says when the BDs are on. It says all of us everywhere, doesn't it? They could come, they could try it out at the stocks or the mansion or the factory, get to know people, because it's just over, what is it? It's 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
So there's time. So if you see this and you're in the area, hook these brothers up with a message. We'll give you some information about contacts for the podcast. But F3 near me is it's just amazing, isn't it? Anywhere in the world we can connect to our nearest BDs. I hope that's okay that I just asked that, because I know we planned a bit for tonight, but I was just sitting there going, I'm getting excited. This is exciting. It's good. Okay.
We're talking of BDs. Let's bring it back to exercising. This is what that first F is in F3. Is that fitness part. What's your favourite exercise to do, Sage?
Bit of a theme, isn't there?
Suicides. What is your favourite?
Or 7 of diamonds.
Exercise?
I like Tabatas. So I like high intensity with the break. And I think that's why things like pills on a string are great. So I love run there, do this, run back, do that, and repeat. So any variation of that, I really like. I like superset type things as well. So we haven't got a lot of kit at the factory, but we have got some. They're not pull-up bars, are they? They're almost kind of chest height bars. But I love kind of doing, one guy does Merkins, one guy does rows, either way. Then you just keep switching. So I really like that type of thing where you can just work hard for an extended period of time by switching around. I'll carry on if that's all right. I really like things like Dora or mini Doras, just working together as a partnership or as a team, that group cohesion, and you get the chat and you get the laughs and you get the encouragement. That's fantastic. And also probably my peak thing, because it lasts for about 25 minutes, something like a half Murph is epic. Maybe for our anniversary event, we're going to do a full Murph over 50 minutes or so. But yeah, extended suffering, I quite like, if that doesn't sound too wrong.
That's good. We'll have to get you down to London and you can feast the packs. End of the Northern Line. Yeah. What about the exercises you hate? What is the bit where Sage goes, no, I want to mod down?
If we're doing lots and lots of Merkins, I find I get a technique breakdown at about 20 if I'm doing really honest. Chest to kind of grasp reps, and then I'll just have to go on my knees. That's my modification down, really. I've been trying to just increase those repetitions, but I do find that hard. It's going to be something I'm going to focus on, doing some almost training outside of F3 to try and build my stamina with that. So it's probably stamina to do more reps on Merkins. I'd like to be stronger at those.
A lot, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I think it's those fitness, the PT tests. What is it? The 42 or so hand release in about, is it 2 minutes? I think. And so I'm not there. I would need to kind of train up for that. But I think it comes back to when I was starting F3, and it's better to do 20 really good reps than 35 not honest reps, and and just be pumping away, but you're not really doing anything. So actually doing the full range of movement, but maybe doing less is good.
You guys don't have, I assume yet, you don't have the kind of flag steel world that we've got going on down here. And I've been on a couple of flag steel trips where we go to another AO, and this extra flag that we've got that's got a proper name that I forget. And we've just taken it because we've been the only ones there. But occasionally when another AO turns up, and it's a bit like sort of Montagues and Capulets, or West Side Story, and there's this battle. Yeah, I was one recently where I was one of my brothers, and I love him dearly, and I was supposed to be counting his hand release Merkins, and he did a number of good ones, and then I'm not going to lie, at that point then, and I videoed everything because I didn't want anybody to say you've been cheating or dishonest. And I said, dude, I can't give you a load of these because it looked like you were humping the floor. I don't know what you were doing, but he was so burned out, and I kind of feel like with the Merkin, I would quite often, if I'm leading Merkins, I will sometimes even just do 10, but on 2 of them, we'll go down and we'll just hold. And we'll just hold, and they're groaning and grunting, because you're better off, like you say, it's quality. Because anyone can go, oh, down. Akio on Saturday was so excited. We did 15 decline Merkins off a sort of half height fence thing, and it was great fun. I suspect many of us, let alone the FNGs, we were a little bit wanting in our form on the last 5 reps, a lot of bendy backs, and so.
Yeah. I'm a physiotherapist by background, so I think I've definitely got a penchant for technique, but then I chill out a bit as well. You don't want to be shouting all the time, kind of technique. So I will sometimes, I think, guys will do squats in certain ways, Merkins in certain ways. They're still getting some benefit from it. But I think over time, technique is key, because then you don't get injured and you get stronger.
Sure. You might be the sort of guy that we need in the UK for a UK-based Exicon video series.
I'll take that away with me. That is a good idea.
Because
I'd love that. I'd love that.
I love the Exicon. It's often missing some details that are helpful, like what actually they really want you to do, and
I think
Exicon.
Yeah, so plank, for example, you can chill out in the plank, or you can make that a really hard exercise by squeezing your hands together, squeezing your legs together, pushing your hands away, kind of tilting your pelvis, squeezing your glutes. And it is a way different exercise than just hanging out and letting your pelvis dip and all of that stuff. So I think some of those technique cues make a big difference to the exercise, and they make it much more valuable as well if you're doing it.
Is then in your mind, what is a plank? Because is a plank the high plank, or is it on the elbow plank? What's a sage plank?
I think both. I tend to do high plank, but bring in some gymnastic cues almost. So you're coming forward over your wrists, and it's looking a little bit more like a pike position. Flipped over. But as soon as you squeeze your arms together, squeeze your legs together, control your pelvis, squeeze your glutes, push the ground away. So you're lifting your chest up, so you're almost hollowing your thoracic spine a bit. Completely different exercise. And then you'll almost start shaking in it straight away. But not everyone teaches it like that. But I try to get those bits in.
There's a guru here, isn't there? It's good. Where are we at, Flea?
Is he with us?
He is with us, yeah. I think he's thinking about where we're at.
My internet connection is terrible, guys. For those who haven't already figured it out, if you're watching on the video, it may be horrendous. I was just checking. It turns out my sons are streaming on their mobile phones, taking all the bandwidth. So I found the culprits. There'll be appropriate punishment dished out shortly.
Merkins.
Yeah, I think I echo everything Sage was saying there. I hate Merkins too. I mean, again, my form also starts to dip. Then that 15 to 20 point mark is when I start to struggle. But I do like my body weight cardio. You wouldn't think I'm a big guy, but it is what I like doing, and that and the calisthenics combination is good. It's good. It's a good mix. For me, I hate running, so but it's good for you apparently. So I'll do it. How many times have you queued now, Sage?
I was just gonna say your running's getting a lot better though, Flea. Past 6 months, you've definitely running's coming on. How many times have I queued? 30 or 40. I don't know. You're the stats man. Do you know from the Google Docs?
Yeah, it's certainly north of 40, and if I remember right, you're not far off 48.
Wow.
So, and the reason 48 we've got set is that is averaging 4 times per month, which will warrant you for an award if you get to 48 by the end of August.
There you go. A golden bap or something like that. Some form of special treat. So you've queued nearly as many times as I've ever been to a BD. I racked up, what was it this week? 54, I think. I was quite excited to start a new AO on as my 52nd BD. But we're free to lead, aren't we, brothers? So got to get on with it.
How long's that time over, Shredder? How long's 52 BDs over?
So similar, really similar to Flea. We're talking about. It's interesting. Bits of you've said is you've kind of EH'd yourself, right? So you've reached out, and I was on my own working out in the garden, and I still do some workouts in the garden. And last October I did my second stair race challenge, and in the approach to that, I got hold of Crackit, and he told me about the circuit which meets at Broadlands in Surrey, and I said, as soon as I've stair raced, I'm coming. Meet me there, and I did, and FNG, and I was like, whoa, what is going on? So because it was about 10 miles away, and my wife starts work at 7 a.m, I was only able to go once or twice a week. So I was doing a Friday and a Saturday, but just took it from there, and actually soon realized, probably similar stuff to you guys, it was what I was missing, and much more about the second F. Like, I've got everything in the garden shed up to 28 kilo kettlebells, and I've got like 60 kilo hip bars, and I'm at the limit of what I can do on my own. But it's not fulfilling. I spoke to a friend today, and they just said they found a trainer, and I said, how is it? And they said, oh, it's quite expensive. It's £40 a go. And I said, it's really good that you're starting. I said, as soon as you realize you're dropping 320 quid a month on a trainer, and you go, actually, I'd like to drop that on my family, you come and tell me, because F3 will do that and more. And 90% of stuff your trainer isn't doing for you and the circles of your life, for your family, for your community. You can spend that money on something good like Lego. I say that as a Lego addict. But insert whatever. Some of us are going to Vegas soon, aren't we? We're probably spending anyway. Yeah. It's an amazing world, this F3 world. It really is.
Yeah, the movement's amazing.
Yeah, thinking about that, right? So, you've got a lot going on. And you said a bit about kind of the development. If you're talking to someone, and they say, "What do you do?" How do you kind of share what you love about F3 with other people? What comes out of you?
I think it depends if I'm trying to EH someone or not. So if it's a guy, I think I'm not sure my cell's ever been perfect, but I've changed it a bit, and now I just say it's fitness, great group of guys, early morning, and that's almost it. And then I'll keep repeating and keep repeating. I think when I first started, because I was enjoying it so much and probably drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit and kind of going, oh, there's some leadership development here, and people just look at me like I'm talking craziness. So keep it to the exercise, and go from there. I think if it's some people at work or at social things, you can go into a bit more of that. Maybe talking to females as well, because they'll probably have male partners, and often they're saying that just sounds really good, and where can I sign my husband up, or it's a bit early, might not want to get up at that time. But you're starting that conversation. So yeah, I tend to go in a bit lighter than I used to, I think, and just all about the fitness. And then the other stuff is, I think I was listening to Dark Helmet, and he's like, fitness is almost the honey trap a little bit. So you come along, and then we're like, we do all this other stuff, but fitness is what brings people, isn't it? I think ultimately.
Yeah.
Is there a candidate you've got lined up? Is it someone that you know from work or from your friendship circle who you want to EH?
Yeah, a few guys in the village who I'm struggling with, trying to get. There's a couple of guys that could come, but they're just not proximate, really. My brother down south would love this, but he's kind of going, oh, I'm waiting for someone to start it up. He's got a lot of things going on. Yeah, where is he? He is in Winchester.
Okay. Hampshire, right?
Hampshire. He'd be ideal. He's just got a lot of things going on. But he came to a BD and loved it. He's got his own kind of man's club, but not organised necessarily. Just a group of guys meeting, but same type of thing. But yeah, just some guys in the village. Some people who I'd really like to come, but they just live too far away.
Ask this question that connects to it. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
The anyone question, because this intrigues me. If you could EH anyone, and I mean, you know what? It can be even historical. I don't mind. Like, if you could EH anyone, who would you EH? And what would you want to call them if you got to call their name at the end?
I'm probably going then almost a famous or influential person at the minute. Someone like Rangan Chatterjee, who runs the Feel Better, Live More podcast.
Okay.
In England, I think he's got such a reach in the media. So if you get someone like that who would just then spread the message to millions of people, what would I call him? Yeah, something like, I don't know, podcast or Feel Better or something like that. I could probably get a better name for him. But someone like Rangan Chatterjee who gets lifestyle medicine, understands the benefit of being outdoors, exercising, community, all of that stuff. I think he would be someone who could advocate on a national scale would be amazing.
That's good.
If I was in America, Joe Rogan, someone like that, like what he did for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and just getting that spread out. If you got someone as influential as that, amazing.
Yeah. Oh, anywhere. I mean, anywhere's good, isn't it?
Talking of influence.
Go on, Flea.
Talking of influence. Right, we'll cut that bit in the edit.
Hopefully,
hopefully we'll learn how to edit this. So we'll find out.
You've not missed
anything.
So
yeah, just talking of influence and so someone influential in there. We recognise that having whetstone relationships is important. Being either a blade, someone who is learning, or a stone, someone who is teaching and mentoring. Do you have relationships either side of that you could share with us?
In F3 or outside of F3?
Let's take within F3.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Not necessarily someone who's sharpening me. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. I think it's a good question. There's a guy called Cream Tea who I'll go to for some kind of discussions around work and self-development and leadership things. He's got some great ideas. I don't think we've necessarily got that relationship at the minute. I haven't actually thought about it on the flip though, Flea, of who am I influencing? And so yeah, that's quite a hard question to answer straight off. I think I'd like someone in F3 who pushes me and challenges me more. That might be you on a beatdown, but I don't think I've got that formal relationship yet. I've certainly got mentors outside of F3 that have been really helpful. But yeah, I'm probably looking for that guy to start at some point. Okay. No more to say.
No, that's good. Thank you. It's not easy, and I think a lot of us are in the same place, right? It's something for us to grow in as an organization.
The keys, Shredder, though, is proximity. That without question, some of the guys I've met, like I'll still speak to Homer and Sticks quite a lot, but they're not down the road, and I don't see them 3 times a week. That's the difference. Being proximate and really understanding that, which I have over the past 9-10 months. That's the difference.
You guys have, from my point of view. Sorry, go on, Flea.
I was just about to say, I mean, we've talked there about vertical relationships. Horizontal relationships are also important too. And we recognize that in the shield lock principle. Do you have any shield locks that you're willing to share both inside and outside F3?
Yeah, I was thinking about that around how do I kind of serve the packs in my way outside of BDs. I run quite a few challenges. I like challenges. So I think I started at Christmas. I did the Centurion B burpee one that I know is national, but that just got me going. So we've done a couple now. We did no sugar for Lent period, which was harder than it sounds. And you get 4 or 5 guys joining that. We've just done, coming to the end of 3 months of no alcohol, or I'm coming to the end of 3 months no alcohol challenge. I will be having some red wine in August to celebrate. And also I'm just running a weight loss one for 8 weeks that's starting on Monday. That's my kind of shield locks that change a little bit. I think in the next year, that's probably one development I'd like to get, of maybe 3-4 guys that I do have a solid shield lock. I think we've got some informal ones, probably me and you, Flea, talk a lot, but I don't think we've nailed anything down yet of really challenging each other in a shield lock. But I think that's coming in the next year.
Technology's on our side, isn't it? You were talking about the Centurion Burpee Challenge. I did that, and I committed to continue doing it. So I've been doing 50 a day every day since February. We had an abs challenge, and that's happening again. I'm like nearly 11,300 burpees into the year now.
Wow.
Which is why I said I like burpees. And the weight one, you mentioned that, we reached out to some of the boys in the Midlands, and I don't know if any of your guys are in, but we set up a WhatsApp group, which is obviously, it was a Queen group, because I was listening to a lot of packs, having gone from 20 stone down to 16 and then down to 13 and up to nearly 14 and a half. I was struggling with the Queen. I was struggling with the food. And we check in with each other every day. There's about 40 guys in it now, I think. And some of them, that accountability is really helping them. So tech helps, eh? It's good.
Similar, I think I've always trained. That's never been my problem, but I love healthy food. I just eat too much of it, if that makes sense. So it's the Queen, just my portions. I think I like snacks as well, to be fair. So the accountability is going to be great on that group over the next 8 weeks, but it can spawn something else, can't it? I think 8 weeks is quite a short time. Losing weight's not that difficult. Keeping it off is the harder bit. So I think there's going to be a maintenance phase that we're going to have to look at as well.
Yeah, I think a few of the boys in the Midlands are hitting close to their targets. I've been bantering with one of them. We're at the same weight. The difference is he's 6'2" and I'm 5'9", and I said, he looks proper. I say he looks proper like hench and spelt, whereas I just said to him, I just look like the outside layer of a Russian doll when I take my top off. It's just like boing. But yeah, maintenance is the challenge, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
It's good. This is really, really good. Thank you so much, Sage, for sharing all of this with us. Do you see F3 helping your family and community much? Do you feel a ripple effect?
Yeah, I do. I think, like anyone, I'm not perfect, and work can be stressful. I can be shorter with my kids than I'd like to be. But I think what F3 gives me is it brings you back to good behaviors all the time. So there's just that reminder of what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. So I find that really helpful. Great structure within the week. You're up and out before the kids are getting up. And I think you're modeling what you want to see in the kids as well. It's not telling them to exercise or telling them to not drink alcohol. That's just my thing at the minute. But it's showing them and demonstrating. And so, my boy, who's about 8, is really keen to come. He's got another 8-10 years, unfortunately. But yeah, just modeling, I think, is as powerful as anything.
Yeah, and bringing it back to you. Can you see and explain where and how F3 is encouraging and enabling your personal growth?
I think it's okay. I wouldn't have done 3 months off alcohol if it wasn't for F3. I don't think that'll turn into having some again, but just breaking those habit patterns. So I think what F3 does really well is it shines that mirror up a little bit, where you've got other guys who you respect who are accelerating in different ways or showing up, or they've got their own challenges. So I think it just holds the mirror up to you of, what can I do today to get better? What can I do this month? And it doesn't always have to be big changes, but it's just that 1% stuff of putting your phone away when you're with the kids, or putting it in that phone drawer and being present with your family. So I think we repeat that a lot. We've got our 30-30s going, but the words do follow themes, and often it comes back to, how are you at home? How are you outside of F3? So you could be perfect at F3, but if you go home and you're a nightmare with your family, then it's not really doing what it should be doing. So yeah, I think it's just there's a drip effect and a repetition of the same messages that is really valuable.
I just feel really glad to be part of this conversation. I'm not going to lie, I mean, I know a minute ago there was a kind of technical, but honestly, thank you for talking to us about this. This is really good. I hope this helps other people just consider where they're at,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks, Sage, for not only for tonight's discussion, but also for the last 9 months with my journey. It's been tough at times, mate. Stuck in that mud and in the snow and ice. But we're seeing the nice side of it now, with the sun, and it's light in the mornings, and it's a little bit more enjoyable doing those bear crawls and commando crawls on the grass. Not so much fun in the ice and snow.
You've loved every minute of it.
So yeah, thanks for me for that.
Bit of a delay, isn't it?
I do. Yeah, there's a horrendous delay on this. I really hope the recording comes out really well.
Hopefully.
What we do hope, though, is that our American and rest of world F3 colleagues may be slightly shocked to find this podcast dropping into their F3 Nation family of podcast feed. Hopefully it'll be a nice surprise for them when it drops. So for those listening in the car like I do, welcome. Hopefully you've managed to listen to us at normal speed and not have to slow us down to recognise our accents like the plague admitted that he had to do.
Opposite way.
So, for those listening, again, please, if you want to have a look at us and see our faces, we'll be on YouTube as well. So we'll be simultaneously cast up to there too. We will be getting an F3 Nation email account coming through, but in the interim, please, any questions or any content ideas, especially for the UK guys, any news events that you'd like us to talk about, if you want any UK packs to come onto the show, or rest of the world, F3 packs too, get in touch. We want to hear from you, we want to talk to you. Yeah, you can get us at f3podcastuk@gmail.com. I'll say that again. It's f3podcastuk@gmail.com. And if you fancy using WhatsApp, you can drop us a quick text on UK 0044 7968 173160. We'll put both of those in the show notes so you can have a look and reflect and get in touch. Please let us hear from you. Shredder, any closing words from you?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I was just double checking that I'd actually given you the right phone number then. Yeah, I basically wanted to just say, there was a couple of things that were on the ground that I wanted to say. One of our brothers, Bolt, has just done a WOD last week for a PAX, a friend who'd died, and he's done that as part of his training to go on the cadre training in America for Freedom Ops. So he's going to get trained so he can help PAX over here do some of these really exciting regular events that, you know, the CSOP type events, the big convergences that help us gather and do crazy things. So just really love for him. Obviously, Saturday the 2nd of August, you've got your event coming up. We're hosting one in the Brook, my AO. I've had a flag made. Every AO is welcome to come. I know it's a big trip down for you guys, but basically we're having a hunt the flag night with pizza and prizes, and whoever wins gets to take home. Obviously, many of you know CSOP is completely stupid and utterly pointless. That's the name of the event, but that challenge will mean an AO walking away with a brand new custom made flag. Did you want to say any more about Bolton, or are we going to hold that for now? It was Bolton, isn't it, that you were looking at planting? Is that right? Did I get that wrong?
Sheffield.
Sheffield.
Yeah, Sheffield. Yeah,
it's on the cards, isn't it? So we've got Van Dam as the AOQ there. So he's probably looking. Is it September beginning, Flea, to start?
Yeah, first week of September. We're looking at still some things to confirm and get squared off, but we're provisionally going for that. I think it's September the 1st, that first Monday, as the launch. Yeah, should be great. Well, so that'll be 4 Yorkshire AOs within a year.
Yes, this is it. Taking over Yorkshire. Sage, have you got any final words?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it? Keep posting. Yeah, keep posting. I would say just keep turning up. I think I talk about the recipe just works. I've seen it work so many times with FNGs that come, and you almost see a guy his confidence isn't where he wants it to be, or maybe where it was before. Physically might not be there as well. Then in that 6 to 8 weeks, you just start the face starts to change, posture improves, musculature improves. He starts kind of getting to the middle of the packs. He starts getting more confident in the cafeteria. So it all comes back to just that recipe of keep turning up.
Sounds like we'll have to get you back again.
Keep at it, guys. Keep at it.
I'd love to be back. Love it. Great chat.
Good. Well,
fantastic. Well, thanks, guys. Hopefully you've got the first one come through broadcast really well. We're going to be aiming to release this every other Wednesday. That is the plan so far. We will be getting a technology upgrade to a new podcast software in the next days, so we won't have to make do with this format. So we will have a bit more technology at our fingertips in terms of editing and mic balancing and all of those fancy things. In that point, hopefully see you in 2 weeks. And Shredder, any final words from you?
Yeah, just see you all in the gloom. I mean, I know it's not very gloomy, but thank you for coming to listen to us UK folks and having a first taste of In Cadence.
In Cadence.
Thanks a lot.